What's going on, everyone? My name is Dominic Delgado. Welcome back to the channel and to another video. In today's video I wanted to talk about NIO, ticker symbol NIO. We do have some major catalysts coming up. We have their Q4 earnings. A new wealth fund from South Korea has massively increased their shares along with Intel and Tesla and their overall market in the EV section. Now we have seen this major run up from this $40 range to the $63. This was a run up prior to NIO Day. On NIO Day, we did see huge news with the autonomous driving and their new SUV car coming out to the market. After people did take their normal profits, and we have been hanging around this $50, $55 range to the $63 range for quite some time, and the overall market has been down for the past week, seeing this pull back down to this $50 range or so. Today we did end the day on 50.68, and after hours we did lose an additional 30 cents. But again, like I stress in all my videos, if you are a genuine believer in the company, this is a great time for you to buy now. This is pretty much another fire sale from the $63 to the $50. That's $13 off. This is a great time for you to buy more shares at a cheaper price. The overall market has been red, so it is a time for you to buy in all the stocks that you were planning on holding for a long term. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the South Korean hedge fund that bought into NIO. But before I do that, if you guys can go ahead and subscribe, help me get all this information out to as many people as possible to help educate others on the stock market and their favorite stocks. It would help me out a lot. So hopping over to the fund that bought into NIO this week, it is the second biggest wealth fund in South Korea. It is a sovereign wealth fund, recently made their big changes in some of its biggest US traded stock investments. They have bought into NIO, Tesla, and Intel, and have an investment in General Electric stock. The fund disclosed the trades, among others, in a form it filled with the Securities and Exchange Commission. So the Korean investment, which managed $20.2 billion in assets of the year of 2019, didn't respond to the request to comment on their changes in these stocks. So you can see here they bought 295,687 more deposit receipts for NIO at the end of 2020. And this puts them at an increase of 83% of what they initially held of NIO before, prior to this announcement. So if more big companies like this in the future are to hop onto the train of buying with NIO, they do see the potential that they have in the market with Tesla, especially since this is a Chinese company. They do have their potential domination in the Chinese market. We have seen in prior videos also, I briefly discussed what they have an advantage over Tesla in. If you are interested in seeing that video, I'll go ahead and leave an annotation on the top of your screen, and I'll cover more into that later in the video. So looking over at the Q4 earnings report they have on March 1st of this year, we have seen in the past 3 quarters they have beaten expectations by a quite amount of percentage. So this will be huge because we've seen in many companies before earnings, they'll have a massive run up to that point. From there, people will take the profits either the day or 2 after earnings. This is typical for every stock. This is just a way of people getting FOMO. But typically for me, I don't like holding through earnings. It has been a flip-flop market for quite some time now. Companies who tend to do bad for some reason go up, and companies that beat the marker tend to go down. And with these hyper stocks, we can see that NIO, Palantir, Bingo, for instance, they are highly volatile because of the amount of money people are having now during COVID. Nothing really to spend it on, so they come to the stock market to make a quick dollar. And this is the reason why stock prices are moving significantly higher than they normally do. So what potential dominant features does NIO represent with their company compared to Tesla and even Lucid Motors? If we come over and look at their website, we have seen on NIO Day, they did announce their SUV, their power swap stations, the power charge stations, and if you are paid with their power subscription for the monthly fee, you can do the power mobile, which in essence allows you, if you run out of energy with your battery, it's almost like a AAA. Well, they'll come to your car and charge your battery on the spot. So with their power swap station as well, it enables over 1,200 patent technologies. NIO's power swap, the first of its kind, where it can swap out your battery for your car in less than 3 minutes. And this is great too compared to gasoline cars where we have our tire rotation and our oil changes. While you're doing this power swap for your battery, it'll also check your systems to make sure that your battery and your vehicle are in the best shape when they leave. Now some things that we can see as well with the power charger. This is typical with any electric car. We do have the power charging stations. We have seen Tesla significantly increase their amount of charging stations around the globe. NIO is a Chinese-based company, so they are significantly going to increase the amount of charging stations they have in their area. Now, like I said before, if you aren't able to get your power changed in this station, you do have the option to have a mobile car come to you and charge your battery for you in case of emergency. This is an extra charge to allow NIO to have a monthly subscription income. They have had some great news in the past couple of weeks with their numbers of their car deliveries for January 2021. We did see NIO deliver a total of 7,225 vehicles in January 2021. This is an increase by 352% of January 2020. And in total so far, NIO has delivered a total of 82,000 vehicles. And this is an accumulation of their ES8, ES6, and EC6. Now, why is NIO a potential Tesla of China? Also mentioned in my Lucid video, compared to Tesla and Lucid, they are the biggest EV market in the Chinese section. And what outstands them the most compared to Tesla and Lucid Motors is that they have their power charging station that you can swap your batteries in a matter of 3 minutes and a full diagnostic of your car. Now, for the long-term investors, if you are willing to stay with this company for a good amount of years, now is a great time to average in. We have seen in the past weeks that it's been dropping, so you can put in a percentage every day just to see until the very bottom. There's no perfect way to time the market, so the best way is to average in. But for the swing traders and the option players, here is the chart that we have seen a significant amount of increase of option plays. This is going to be for the March 19th call, a couple of weeks after their earnings report in March 1st. We do see a big amount of people playing on the $60 range, along with the 65 and up to the 70 as well. Now, my price prediction for this company is 70 in the short term. If they do have good earnings report and we can see a year-over-year return of their vehicle sales, this will potentially increase the share price by a big amount. The past 3 quarters of 2020, they did beat their estimate for their stock price by a good amount, so we could potentially see an increase up to the 5-cent range if they do beat it. But these specific March 19 calls for the $65 range were trading around the $2.30 range last week. So if you were to play this same call as today and buy it, you could get it for a discount. In total, 10,210 contracts were traded today. This is a decrease in 39% for the actual price of the contract. So if you were to buy this contract now, it would cost you $183 per contract. And how you get this number is $1.83 times 100 because each contract has 100 shares. And the volatility is not too high. It is 109%. With earnings coming up, we could have a theta crush if we don't outperform the actual EPS of the stock price. Now, if you guys do have any questions on any other stocks and potential plays you can look into getting, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below, and I'll go ahead and try to make a video on that as soon as possible. For me, I do hold some NIO, and this is a long-term play for me as well. We have seen Tesla dominate the US sector for the EV market, and I do see NIO potentially taking over in the Chinese market in the future. That's all I've got for you guys in today's video. If you did enjoy, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.